So I'm thinking that it's time that we got creative with housing. Housing is the greatest universal challenge faced by cities. We also know that we need to get back to density for so many good reasons. Here in Copenhagen and Frederiksberg, where I live, we already have a lot of good density. We have many neighborhoods in the city between 8 and 20,000 people per square kilometer. But that also means that sometimes it's tricky to find extra space. Another problem is developers, a universal problem as well. Here, they keep on building large apartments for some bizarre, antiquated idea of the nuclear family, like from the 1950s, husband, wife, and 2 kids. Somehow not realizing that we have more singles than at any point in history and a lot more students as well. Think about it. For 6,000 years of our urban history, we lived on incredibly small housing footprints. Scaling back the square meters that we live on would not be a stretch for Homo sapiens. We need a lot more smaller homes, and we need them fast. It all started with me looking at these 2 buildings in my backyard, 2 of the buildings that I share the courtyard with. And I'm just thinking, like, why don't we use this space, man? That's more than enough space. We could put in a narrow building there. We could use some cool architecture, some space management solutions. We have all the technology. We have the know-how. We can be creative with the designs, man. Let's do it. There's lots of these gaps all around my neighborhood. Also in the courtyard that I live, there's another building right there, man. Some of them are narrower than others, but come on, there's still room for a single bed, kitchen table, little kitchen unit, everything you need. Once you start seeing them, you can't unsee them. They're everywhere. Skinny housing is nothing new. There are lots of examples in a city like Amsterdam, for example, and then there's the world famous Carrot House in Warsaw. I don't think it's there anymore. The world's narrowest home. Oh, I really wish I could have seen that. Even down the street from me, about 200 meters from here, somebody had the same idea back in the early 1990s. So I kept on exploring my neighborhood, and you know what I found? Lots of potential. Check this out. There are countless examples of buildings with 2 gaps between them just in the area around where I live. Like I said, once you see them, you can't unsee them. Look at all those gaps ready to be filled. According to my research, I calculated that there is space for about 250 small, tiny house homes. Apart from providing housing, we would also complete all of these facades, which will look a lot nicer if we do it right. And this is the windiest capital in continental Europe. So filling in those gaps would also reduce the wind in our shared back courtyards. Yes, please. This is not the silver bullet. Of course not. But come on, 250 small homes where nobody saw them before? That's not bad at all. This would require policy changes and some political vision. Literally not my job. I'm the idea guy. But if you want more homes in your city and more taxpayers, of course, then you know what? You're going to figure it out.